This is the video log about our PDF topics for next semester, which is really exciting and a little terrifying. I'm sorry that I'm turning this in on the day that you want it by. I realize that you wanted them as early as possible, but I've been really sick for the last couple of days. Today I literally slept all day. I was planning to do it early this morning and slept all day. Still in bed, if you can't see. So I'll just go ahead and get started. So the PDF topics that I'm really interested in are, well, okay, the first one I'll say is sexual orientation. I did do one on that last year, and I would like to branch out, which is why I don't want to do socioeconomic status again, and I want to do something different with sexual orientation this semester, or next semester. But it's still something that I'm really passionate about, something I love talking about and love sharing about. And if I'm not positive because I haven't heard everyone's social identities, but if I remember correctly, I'm the only person in that target identity in our class, so you'll probably have to let me do a dialogue about it because everybody else is straight as far as I know. So I think what I wanted to do with it this next semester, I am not entirely sure. I'm also very frustrated because I wrote down a ton of topics that I wanted and left them at school. So I'm kind of trying to remember them as I go, but what I came up with is more of I don't want to tie it in with another identity this time because it was really hard to balance the two identities and talk about where they meet so that we hit both. And Marie and I had a lot of trouble because we'd end up talking all about religion or all about sexual orientation depending on the group. So that was another struggle in itself. So I would love to just narrow it into this one identity because it's a huge identity, and it has 2 hours in itself. Marie told me a little bit about the one she did last year. It was more of like an informational about sexual orientation. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do an informational per se. I want there to be dialogue. I want there to be, people talking and sharing experiences. But I do want to narrow it down to just sexual orientation. So I guess what I came up with was what defines it? How do you get it? How do you find out, sort of thing? And I've heard about this really awesome activity called the coming out activity, I think. But it's basically where we would ask the participants a series of questions, and it would sound like the questions that the LGBTQ community gets, but it would be directed at straight people. So it would be like, what would your parents say if they found out? And do people stare at you when you're holding hands in public? Is that weird? Stuff like that. So people kind of get the reverse perspective. I really love the sound of that activity. Marie and I thought about doing it last semester, but it didn't fit with our topic, so I really want to do it with this topic. And there were some awesome activities that I learned in Ally training that I wanted to resurface because I still have that whole packet, and I loved Ally training. So I don't know who my partner would be, but I think that we could put together a really awesome dialogue about sexual orientation. I'm open to different ideas about what they would want to do, but that would be my major target identity that I would want to do. My other target identity, well, I have a few, but another target identity for me is socioeconomic class, and I could do that one again. Not crazy about it. Definitely don't want to do the two topics I did last semester. And I feel like Susanna and I got a lot out of our dialogue, but and it would look totally different next year because I'd have an agent rather than two targets because Susanna and I shared pretty much the same story. So I'm kind of straying away from that. I don't really want to do socioeconomic status again. An agent identity that I'm really interested in pursuing that I've talked to Rachel a lot about. I don't know if I've mentioned to Becky, but it's race and kind of ethnicity. Just because we have a really weird balance in our room of white heterosexual males and black heterosexual females, and the black female perspective is so cool. I've had friends that are African Americans, and I've been in situations where my race was the minority, but in this setting, it's just really awesome, and I love hearing their stories. I love hearing them share. So I would love to do a dialogue with one of them about race. Um, and I think I really am lost as to what the topic would be, but some things that have kind of stuck out to me are like the microaggressions we talked about. I think those would be really awesome to kind of explore on our campus. We could really define what that is and then have people share about microaggressions that they've seen or had, committed against them or that they've done. And also another thing is just generalizing color and different racial groups. I think Q might have mentioned that toward the beginning of the semester, and just how like she gets lumped into one group or another. Maybe it was Naya, I'm not sure. But generalizing color, like that's something that I have a lot to learn about, so I would love to be on the end of that, on the other end of that. And like that just goes back to like not understanding heritage and distinctions and differences and not taking the time to get to know them. And then another thing would, like, if we, I don't know where this would go, but if it were to take a side like this, would be like vocabulary used on our campus, like that's so ghetto or that's so black, and just kind of educating where that could hurt someone. So that's something, both of those are topics that I've been passionate about from the minute we started this semester. And it could be in part due to our group and the identities represented in our group, but that would be my target and agent of first choice. A very close second slash 1.5 would be ability, either physical or mental, because it's something that I've talked to Trevor a lot about, and it's something that has sort of resurfaced in my life a lot recently. That more so is mental ability, but for physical ability, I'll just start with, I would be definitely on the agent side. I'm able. The only thing that I put down in my chart is that I wear glasses or contacts and that I've had surgery that I recovered from really well. So, well, also my knee has no feeling in it, but that doesn't really affect my life daily. So I think I love talking about it though, and I think that would be a really neat dialogue. We could talk about like the privileges we have on campus. A lot of what Christina, before she left, was sharing in our first year about like, the stairs and handicap parking and the rampant hills of Clemson. Like those really struck me, and I loved hearing about her story. So I would like to be an agent in that sort of dialogue. I think that'd be really cool. Mental ability even more so. I I struggled with depression for a little over a year. I was on medication. I struggled with insomnia, but it is now something that has, resurfaced a little bit, but it's something that I just kind of like draw back on my experiences from and really appreciate going through, that time in my life and the support I received and counseling, and I am grateful, for what I went through and my experience, because I think it's had a really positive impact on my life now. Another spin on mental ability is my mom has a lot of different disorders. She has had bipolar disorder, manic depression, and schizophrenia for almost her entire life. And it's something that she struggles with every day, and less so now that I don't live with them, but when I did live at home, especially during high school and middle school, when I was changing a lot and our family was going through a lot of things, it was something that I had to deal with daily. And I love my mom so much. I appreciate her. I miss her when I'm at school. But it's definitely something that has defined our relationship with each other. So I don't really know what to define that as, but I guess that would be like my perspective living with someone with a mental health disorder, or um, my perspective being close to or caring about someone with a mental health disorder, and that's what that has shaped my relationship with her, and that has shaped me as a person, and my views on mental health ability and stuff like that. So that's another one that I'm really crazy about. Don't have a concrete idea of the dialogue topic, but I would love to be in that room. I don't really know if I would define myself as target or agent for that one because I've been to a counselor. I saw a counselor for over a year. I've been on medication. I've been diagnosed with depression, and my mom has bipolar disorder and depression and schizophrenia. So maybe I would be in target, but now I am not on any kind of medication. I feel very happy. I don't feel as though I'm dealing with depression every day. Some days, recently it's gotten a little bit worse, but right now I feel like I'd be an agent. Hope I'm not. But so those are some topics that I'm really interested in and that I would love to dialogue about. Um, I could do one with religion. I would feel a little bit uncomfortable. I think I would probably be agent because I identify as Christian, but also a lot of my journey, a lot of my struggle with religion has been also being LGBT and feeling like I'm not accepted in that group. And I don't know if I would be comfortable sharing that because I know that that dialogue would attract a lot of Christians. So I could do it. I could be in that dialogue, but that's not my first choice. I don't really want to do socioeconomic class again. I'm not crazy about body image, but I could dialogue about that too. I think I would probably be agent in that case. So I'll just run through my top ones again so you remember. Sexual orientation, I would be a target. Race, ethnicity, I would be agent. Mental health ability, I'm not sure whether I would be target or agent. I guess I could be either, whichever way we took our dialogue. If we took it as people that have had a mental health disability, I would be a target. And I guess I would be target either way. Well, if we talk about having one or struggling with one currently, I guess I could be agent. And if we went with people in our lives, I do have someone in my life, so I guess I'm not sure if that's target or agent. We would have to define that better. But also really crazy about it, really love it. So if I needed to be paired with someone for that, top 3, sexual orientation, race, mental health ability, physical ability, also really cool. I would definitely be agent. Yes, agent. Very appreciative of my body. So, when I get back to school and I look at that list of topics, if something is amazing that I had just totally forgotten about, I will email you or bring it up in dialogue or talk to one of you one-on-one, or both of you, I guess both of you. But these are the ones that I came up with since I've been home and sick in bed. I apologize that this is Monday and it's due today. And thank you for all of your wonderful work. And I trust that you will pair me with whoever you need me to be with, and you know me well enough to know whether it would be an awesome experience for me and for the person. So thank you for everything. Let me know if there's anything that I can do or that you need help with. And have a wonderful spring break!